This video is brought to you by Squarespace. We bought a box of random 1970s studio master tapes, and one of them is marked Beatles. Let's unbox them and see exactly what we've got. Now, if you're a regular viewer of the channel, you'll know how much I love tape, reel-to-reel especially, and that's what's inside this box. So, let's get it open. Right, so let's see what we've got inside here. Let's start at the back. This is a BASF reel. As we know from our Sgt. Pepper experience, BASF is one of the tapes which survives the years best. So this is a tape of Don McLean's 1978 album, Chained Lightning. And there's the track listing with the title track as track 5. Crying was also on this album, which was a big hit in the UK at the time, #1, I think. And let's have a look at the details. Tape speed is 15 inches per second. It's a NAB Dolby A recording, stereo, 2 tracks, a 1-to-1 copy of the original, and there's the tones. This was copied on the 9th of March 1979, so slightly after the album's release, so I'm not sure why that was. Maybe it came out later in the UK, I don't know. But let's just have a quick look inside the box. There we go, it's actually on a reel, a plastic reel with a Dolby A sticker, and it looks to be well wound. Red leader tape out, so that's tails out, so that's correctly stored. And yeah, that looks to be in good shape. So that's a good start. I'll have a listen to it later and see how it sounds. Good. Next up, out of the box, or out of the package I should say, out of the bag. Okay, this is an Agfa tape, another brand of tape which stands the test of time well. This is in a plastic case. This tape was the least interesting of the bunch and contained nothing more than random 70s pop records. Right, now onto some EMI tape. So this is a mid-70s EMI tape box, and this one has some information on it. The artist on this tape is Electric Chairs. The client is Safari Records. So they were an independent record label in Britain at the time. Have we got a date? No, we don't, but it's the final mix of an album produced by them by Martin Birch. The Electric Chairs, or Wayne County in the Electric Chairs, were a rock band from the first wave of punk in the 1970s. Headed by Georgia-born singer Wayne, or Jane County, the Electric Chairs recorded 3 albums between 1978 and 1979, none of which were released in the United States. Pianist Jools Holland did his first studio session with the group in 1976, and a year later they supported the Police on their tour of Holland. This is a production copy tape of their debut album, which was released on Safari Records in February 1978. A 5-CD box containing just about everything released by the Electric Chairs has just been released by Cherry Red Records. A link to that is in the description. Okay, so this one's a bit different to the last one. This is an earlier tape, an earlier design. This will probably be late 70s. This is perhaps a bit earlier because it has the older EMI tape logo on. And this is a cardboard box, opening like that. Let's have a look at the information on the back. This is an Abbey Road tape from Abbey Road of Cliff Richard. The matrix number of the album that it relates to. And I can see by the track listing that the album is I'm Nearly Famous, his sort of great comeback album from 1976. In fact, this tape is dated the 18th of April, 1976. And this is playback stereo IEC at 38 centimeters a second, which is 15 inches a second. If you need a website for your business, this video sponsor Squarespace can help you make one quicker and better than anyone else. Whether you're selling a product, service, or course, Squarespace has everything you need to make your site a success. Don't worry if you've never designed a website before. Squarespace's state-of-the-art Blueprint AI design system will guide you through all the steps needed to create a stylish, professional website which looks great and works perfectly on every device. Worried about not getting noticed? Squarespace sites are equipped with integrated and optimized SEO tools, which means that your site will show up more often to more people and grow the way you want. Find out how Squarespace can work for you by heading on over to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/parlogram to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. So let's have a look at this tape. Opens that way. This is all corrugated cardboard, this particular box. Now, this is probably the cutting master for the album. Don't ask me how it came to be in this lot. I've no idea. But there it is, correctly stored and very nicely wound on, very even, and tails out, which is how they should be stored. That looks to be in good shape. I'll just pop that down there for a while. I'm Nearly Famous was one of Cliff's best albums, in fact, mainly because it included the hit single Devil Woman, which was quite controversial for him at the time, being a staunch Christian. Singing a song about a devil woman really sort of made the headlines in the music press. So yeah, I believe this is a cutting master for this particular album. High speed, 2 tapes again. This looks to be in excellent condition. Lovely EMI reel, there's a sticker on there, and stored tails out. Wound, not as good as the first one, got a bit of a ridge there. And if you watched our video about the Sgt. Pepper master tape, you'll know all about that. Right, okay. And last, but maybe not least, hopefully not least, is this small 5-inch reel. Now this is Audio International Recording Studios Limited, and this says Kenny Everett Beatles, client EMI.
Speaking as a youngster, I'd like to see something happen of similar magnitude and fabulousness as the Beatles. Do you remember the Beatles?
Eleanor Rigby died in the church and was buried along with their name. Nobody came.
Now, Kenny Everett, of course, was big friends with the Beatles all throughout the 60s and interviewed them during the White Album and also put together the Christmas discs, the fan club Christmas discs for 1968 and 1969. So, you know, he had access to them on many occasions, and this reel might contain something interesting. It's a stereo copy. So that's all it says. That's all I know. I haven't heard this tape, or I don't think anybody else has either, since it was put in this box. Okay. Nothing on the back, by the way. So this is an EMI plastic reel with this stripe leaded tape, which radio stations were particularly fond of using. Let's just wind it up a little bit. Seems to have been wound on well. There's only one way of finding out what's on this tape, and that is to play it. So let's do it.
Just let me hear some of that rock and roll music.
Rock and roll music from the Beatles.
I wanna be your lover, baby. I wanna be
A great new double LP.
I wanna be your lover, baby. I wanna be your man. Just let me hear
and roll music from the Beatles.
Back in the USSR.
Some songs you'll know, others you may not.
Don't know how lucky you are.
But you'll love them all.
Back in the USSR. Just let me hear some of that rock and roll music.
Rock and roll music from the Beatles. 28 tracks for only £4.50.
Just let me hear some of that rock and roll music.
Rock and roll music from the Beatles.
You may be dizzy, Miss Lizzy.
All the Beatles rock and roll greats. Some you'll know, others you may not. But one thing's a dead cert, you'll love them all.
A bad little kid moved into my neighborhood.
A new double LP packed with the Beatles greats. 28 original tracks for only £4.50.
Back in the USSR.
Rock and roll music from the Beatles. Your copy is at your nearest record shop right now.
Get back the way you once belonged. Get back, Jojo.
So, as you might have concluded, this reel contains radio station ads for the Beatles' double compilation album Rock and Roll Music. The person who put it together and whose voice you hear is legendary Liverpool-born DJ Kenny Everett. The tape contains a total of 20 radio spots, 16 lasting 15 seconds and 4 lasting 30. There are 4 variations of each and all have their own script. Each 15-second spot begins with rock and roll music and uses one more track from the album. The 30-second spot uses 3 additional clips, which I had to edit to get through. Although rock and roll music is pretty much a forgotten album today, it was a gateway album for many back in 1976, and despite its terrible cover, it does contain some great tracks. The album was split into 2 budget albums in 1980 and was one of the first Beatles compilations I ever bought. Do let me and everyone else know what you think about this album and your memories of it in the comments. Or better still, watch our dedicated video on the album. I'll be back next week with more Beatles fun. But that's all for this time, so I'll say bye for now and thanks for watching.